I'm TJ. I'm from Brooklyn.
From
New York.
Brooklyn? All right, cool. All right, let me ask you this.
Alright.
If you had a choice, right,
Okay.
between smashing a woman that you're unattracted to and a good-looking man, what would your choice be?
Well, it depends on like how unattractive the girl is. We talking
Really? I mean, as
like
unattractive
ugly as fuck.
Yeah. Like somebody you're not attracted to. Would you rather just be with a dude, like a good look?
How good looking is the dude?
Who do
How
you
is
consider
that?
the best looking dude?
Oh, I don't know. Like
Let's go with. Let me try and think. Well, I'm not gay either, so I can't even. None of them look good.
Let's go with what's his name? Who's the guy? What?
We got a Slayer fan.
We got a Slayer fan. Let's fucking go. Sorry. I'd probably go with the ugly girl, to be honest.
You go with the ugly girl.
I go with the ugly girl.
The good looking.
Because at least that way I know I'm not getting taken in the ass. So.
No, what about if you're giving it though?
Oh, like she's giving it to
No,
me.
yo, you're giving it to the other dude, the good looking dude.
That's still. I don't know that. I don't know about that, man.
You ain't down with that?
Nah, I don't know about that.
All right, now let's get to some of the more normal questions. All right. Let's go with cringe pickup lines.
Oh, okay.
Cringe pickup lines. Let's say I walk up to a girl, and I'm like, hey, I like your. And I'm like, hey, I like your tattoo.
Right.
And then I follow it up with, that's not all I like.
That's pretty awful, man. I'm not
Is
gonna
that
lie.
bad?
That's pretty bad.
How cringe is that? Let's get.
That's like Well, let's try. Hey, Athena, come over here. Go over here for a second.
You want me to try it on her?
No, I'm gonna do it. Come
Oh,
over
you
here.
do it.
Come here. Come here.
Oh yeah, she got tattoos, right?
Yeah, she got a tattoo. That's
Okay, all right, do it.
Come here.
Hello.
Athena.
I'm gonna try something on you.
I like your tattoo, but it's not all I like.
What?
Yeah. All right. There you go.
No, he said he likes your tattoo,
like
but
your
that's
tattoo,
not
but
all
it's
he
not-
likes.
I
That's not
know.
all I like.
I know what he said.
How bad is that? How bad
That
of
was
a pickup line
awful.
is that?
That was bad. I'm gonna go do the.
Yeah, you go.
Well, at least she didn't like,
Oh, I looks like I can slap.
Yeah, that's true. It could be bad. It could be real bad.
That's
Because there's a lot of dudes who come out here specifically to pick up women.
That's what they're doing.
Who?
Where are they at? My boy Andy. Where'd he go?
How's the success rate?
Oh, I don't know. My guy, what's his face at? Well, they're over there.
Yeah.
They're doing bad.
All right, let me ask you this, okay? This is one of my questions, and this is actually one of my newer questions. Do you think people set themselves up for failure if they set their standards too high? Because I know this guy, okay? I know this guy who comes here to pick up women,
Right.
and that's all he does, really. But he's very successful because his standards he doesn't really have very
He's got
high.
no standards. He's
Yeah.
just anybody.
Basically,
All right.
yeah. But he's always with somebody. Whereas, like, in your opinion, do you think like if you set your standards too high, you're just gonna be alone?
I mean, I think you gotta have a balance somewhere in the middle. Like not too low where it's like you're gonna end up with someone you don't want to be with,
Yeah.
but not so high that it's like impossible to achieve.
Right.
But then again, there's probably someone.
But what
out there.
about if you're only attracted to like really good-looking women? Do you think that's like a bad thing?
I mean, there are plenty of good-looking girls around in the
Yeah,
park.
but how many of them are down to talk to a dude like me?
That's true. That's
You
true.
know what I mean? Not very many. So
No.
you think having high standards is not really a big problem?
For some guys, probably not. Like I'll be honest, like the pretty boys, probably not for them.
Yeah.
But for guys, probably not as pretty. Probably
Yeah.
they gotta have lower standards.
What do you think about like COVID? You think like how do you think COVID has changed the dating game? If at all. I mean, you think women have lowered their standards, or it's pretty much the same?
I mean, in terms of dating,
In terms of like willing to at least talk to a dude.
like, 6 feet apart, dude, keep your mask on.
Yeah.
I can see that definitely being a factor for some people.
Yeah.
For others, I don't know if it really affects them as much.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of just like personal preference.
So
there.
you think it's harder then? according
For
to-
some people, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. because like people are afraid of COVID now. Whereas
Yeah,
before
yeah.
they weren't.
COVID's definitely a big fear for some people.
Yeah. So I can't just like walk up to random women the way that I used to.
Probably because of the hat.
Yeah.
Might be the hat.
No hat. Yeah, but it's sunny though.
Yeah. Well, you gotta keep the sun off your head, I guess. Yeah.
So this hat is a no-go. Alright. Good thing I'm not here to pick up one night. Alright, now let's get into some more questions. You want to keep going with the dating questions?
We can go. Yeah.
Alright, let's go with the way you dress.
The way I dress.
The way you dress, do you find that you are more successful talking to women when you are dressed nicer versus when you're dressed like, you know?
Well, I mean, if I come out dressed like, you know, I got a dirty shirt on, you can see like sweat stains and shit. Obviously, nobody. You wouldn't talk to me if I was like, had my shirt was all dirty, right? Like if I had like fucking sweat stains everywhere, you could see like mustard on my shirt. Probably wouldn't come up and talk to me,
We're
right?
talking about, like-
if I were to just like walk up and talk and be like, hey babe, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you wouldn't do that, right? No, you gotta maybe not dress to impress. Like you don't gotta like walk around in a tuxedo, but like, you know, a clean t-shirt, maybe a button down. If it's like a little bit cooler out, it's definitely not bad. I mean, me, I mostly wear like band shirts. I just picked up a gray t-shirt today, but you know, usually band shirts are what I go with.
Alright, now let me ask you this.
All right.
What are your thoughts in general of men who come to places like this to meet women?
I mean, if they can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
You don't think the men are invading the women's space?
no. I mean, it's a public area. People are gonna talk to each other. People are social. Gonna make friends. I don't think it's really that big of a problem if they do.
What is? I hear the word catcalling a lot when I do these interviews.
Yeah.
Do you think this would be considered catcalling? Like
I'll be
if-
honest with you.
No.
I've been catcalled before. I used to have really long hair, so like I've been catcalled before. It's
Now,
but
if I see a attractive woman walk by me,
well, it depends.
and,
That's like
and I say and I make this sound effect.
right, right.
Would that be considered catcalling?
I don't know if that's the best way to open,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Now, how about if she's just like walking by me? I'm like,
I walk by and you're just like, damn,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I don't know. That's a bit sketchy to be honest. It's
Yeah.
kind of like there's a difference between that and being like, hey, what kind of music do you like, or you know, what are you into?
All right, ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Tell me, like, when you're trying to meet women, tell me, like, in a setting like this, what kind of signals are you looking for to indicate that it's okay to approach? I'm talking body language here. You don't know her, she doesn't know you, it's in a public space like this.
Well, they're not on their phone. Like if they're on their phone, I probably wouldn't go up to them. If they're with somebody else, like if they're with a guy, I'm probably gonna assume that they're dating, so I'm not gonna like walk up to them and be like, "Yo, what's good?" I don't know, probably just like, you know, if they're doing something, like you know how they have the people over there like drawing, do art shit like that. Like that's definitely a way. What the fuck? That's definitely a way to like, cause that gives you context. You know, like if you're, you know, drawing, I'll walk up to you and be like, "What are you drawing?" You know, what is that? Oh, that's pretty good. You have an Instagram that you do this on? You know, you can do stuff like that. But like the girls over there, if they're having like a picnic, you don't want to go up to them and be like, you know, can I get your phone number?
Yeah.
It's like they're doing maybe not like busy, but they're doing something. They don't want somebody walking up to them and being a creep.
You know, that was one of the things I was thinking about was if someone chooses to sit like back there versus someone who chooses sitting here, do you think like people who are sitting here and within their circle are more willing to be talked to rather than the people who choose to sit there? Because it's kind of like, you know, this area is all fenced off, and it's kind of like, do you think like they sat there with the intention that they don't want people walking up to them? What is your thoughts on that?
Maybe. I mean, like if I wanted to just sit and get some peace and quiet, I'd probably sit by a tree. Like if I wanted to talk to people, I'd probably sit out here, or like in the bowl.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't sit on the grass.
Now let me ask you this. When it comes to meeting women,
Right.
can you think of an example or the best example of an approach that works? Something that you said.
Well, they gotta be doing something. Like Alright, for instance, there was this one time I was on the train. This girl had like a 35mm camera. I was like, "Is that a film camera?" And I was asking her about it, but it was like I wouldn't have gone up and talked to her if I didn't have context, like because that just doesn't seem right, like because whatever it is they're doing. But like what do you if you're drawing or like I don't know taking photos or something. If you're doing something where it's something that someone can ask you about, regardless of like gender or whatever, then it's like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great conversation starter.
Yeah. So it can't be completely random.
I don't think it'd be
I
completely
can't just
random.
run up and say, "Hey, what's up? Nice
Yeah.
weather we're having here."
Yeah.
Don't do that. You're saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's different though, I guess.
All right, now let me ask you this. What is some red light signals? Are there any body language that you look for to indicate that a woman does not want to be bothered?
On their phone, reading a book. I
What
don't
about
know,
someone
like
who's
headphones
jogging?
in. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna like start jogging beside them and be like, how far can you run?
Yeah. But what if
But,
they're
like-
jogging and they're taking a break, like right here?
Be like, I could see talking to someone like that. Yeah,
That could work.
that could work. Yeah, I could do that. I could see that.
No. What are you looking for in a woman?
Someone who appreciates music. I like a lot of like classic metal, so I would look for someone who can appreciate, even if they're not into metal, just if they could like appreciate that with me. Go to shows and stuff. I mean, everybody looks for physical attractiveness, obviously, so probably that. I would like them to be a nice person in general, not like someone who's gonna be like, who's gonna cheat on me, But, you kind of get what you pay for with some people. So it's like,
Now you're looking for a metalhead.
like I could go for a metalhead chick. That would be nice, like a metal chick.
Can opposites attract?
Oh fuck yeah, man.
What about a real ghetto hip hop?
I don't know about that. I don't think I could really be like, yo, you like WAP? Like I don't know if I could do that, because I don't like that. It's like
So for you, opposites cannot attract.
I don't. That kind of depends, but like I think in like 9 out of 10 situations it'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't walk up to somebody blasting like rap and stuff like that.
Ready for the next question?
Yeah.
How long should you wait before you call a woman? Once you get her.
Like how long do say it again?
Once you get a woman's phone number, how long do you wait before you call? Do you think it sounds too desperate if you call quick?
Well, if you're calling like you just left the park, you're like, what are you doing? I feel like that seems a little bit desperate. Maybe like wait a day or two. Maybe if you both have iPhones, you can start with the iMessage games, stuff like that. I could see you doing that.
What's an iMessage game?
Like 8-Ball. I play 8-Ball with her on the phone.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. But it's just like that's a great conversation starter too, just to be
I
like,
like that. What? So you can't do that without an iPhone?
I don't know. Does Android have something like that? No. Yeah, I guess it's really for
So
Apple
you're in the
users.
iPhone 12. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah.
What do you think about the idea that women like bad boys?
Maybe they do.
Do you agree with that idea, that theory?
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone who's gonna be like, I guess breaking the rules, rebellious, like I guess that's kind of hot for some girls.
You ever meet a woman and you say to yourself, she's cool. I want to hang out with her like she's one of the guys.
Right.
Does that happen to you?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Then you don't want to get with her. How do you set those boundaries without sounding weird?
Without sounding weird, I mean, I just be friendly. Like, I don't know.
Do you even need to?
Like, I wouldn't hit on them then. Like, I'd be friendly, but I wouldn't like hit on them.
But what about like setting it straight so that she doesn't try to hit on you?
Oh, I feel like that would be it. That would just make it awkward then, because if you said straight like, hey, I don't want to date you.
She could say, I never wanted to date you in the first place.
Yeah, say something
What
like
are you
that.
talking
And
about?
then now
You
it's
crazy?
like, now you got this awkward situation where it's like,
Yeah. So Don't say anything, Ted.
Yeah.
Just keep your mouth shut. You got any online dating stories for me?
Oh, I mean, I got like stories of like talking to people, but not like really like online dating necessarily.
Okay, tell me about you talking to people.
Let me think of one.
Tell me about this conversation.
Of like just talking to people online. Well, because of COVID, it was kind of like, well, obviously I had to talk to people over the phone. Like when we were like the quarantine first started and schools were closed, the only way to really talk to people was over the phone. You couldn't really go see them in person, so it was like, all right.
You go on Yubo or what?
No, I don't.
You're not a Yubo guy?
No.
What are your thoughts on online dating?
If it works, it works. I mean, if you want to, because at least that way you can find someone who has the same interest in you. You type in the interest you're looking for. You can totally get something like that. I feel like that would be beneficial for some guys, some girls.
What's a good place to bring a date?
Chuck E. Cheese. No, I'm kidding.
They're closed.
A good place to bring a date. I mean, the park wouldn't be bad because it's like a nice open space. You're not confined to like a booth in a bar or a restaurant. You can walk around. You're not, because like if you go sit down in a restaurant, right, you're there for like an hour, 2 hours, however long it is. But you go to somewhere like the park, you can be like, hey, you want to go to the record store down the street? We can see some cool shit down there. Where it's like, it gives you you're more open to new possibilities and new adventures that way.
I was talking to this woman a couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if she's a woman. She might be just a girl. So I say to her, what are some things you shouldn't say to a woman?
Right.
And she said, don't comment on how I have nice legs. And then I said, what about like if I said that you have nice eyes?
Right.
And she told me, well, that depends if the guy is cute. Which brings me to the conclusion, it doesn't matter what you say.
Right.
What do you think about that? Do you think it matters what people say? Because like at the end of the day, according to her theory, or maybe even other people have the same theory, that if she's attracted to the dude, it don't matter what he says.
Yeah, I could
And
agree
if
with
she's
that.
not attracted to him,
But it would definitely depend on like how you approach them too. Like, hey, nice tits probably isn't the best opener.
yeah. No, but with the nice eyes.
But with the nice eyes, like, oh, you have really pretty eyes. Like, I could see that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Uh-huh. No, but what we're saying is it doesn't matter what he says, because like if she's unattracted to you, it doesn't matter if you say she has nice eyes, or it
Right.
doesn't matter if she says, hey, you got a nice 35mm camera. Let me borrow your camera.
Yeah, if you're not pretty, then you're kind of out of luck. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you agree
What
with
are you
her
pouting
theory or
about?
no?
What are you pouting about? Yeah, I could agree with that theory. I think that's
You agree with that?
definitely a viable theory. Yeah.
All right, we're at 18 minutes. How many more minutes do you want to do?
You can do a few more questions.
Keep going?
Yeah, you can
Tell
do
me
like
when you're
one.
running out of time.
Like 1 or 2 more questions. Is
One
fine.
or two more?
Yeah, I can do that.
If you weren't in New York, where would you be?
If I weren't in New York,
If you were not in New York.
I would either be in Italy, France, or Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Why Ohio?
Family's from Ohio. I got a lot of family down there, so it's like it's a nice place. I don't know it super well, so it's like it's a new place to explore.
You consider yourself a Buckeye?
Oh yeah. I like the sports teams they got
You
there.
like OSU? You like the Reds?
Oh, I've been going to Reds games since I was like 3, yeah, maybe
Okay.
earlier.
Reds teams, and who's the other team there? Bengals?
Yeah, the Bengals are the football team. You know what's funny actually? In like 2nd grade, because I was living in Ohio for a year. I was there in 2nd grade, and whenever there was gonna be a football game, they would make us sing a song for the Bengals out in the schoolyard before recess started, which was really fun. Not really fun, more funny, but
Yeah.
kind of taken away from my Beyblade time and shit like that. You know,
What do you think is what advantages does Ohio have over New York?
In terms of what? Like in terms of just
Anything. It could be
in
like,
terms of
well, some people,
Alright,
a lot of people in America in general say, I don't like not being able to drive in New York, right? So that would be one advantage. Another one would be, I like it quieter.
yeah, that's
Another
what I
one-
like about Ohio. It's
Yeah.
it's quiet. I can sit in the backyard. Nobody's gonna bother me.
Right. Another
Depending
another
on
thing-
where you are in
another
Ohio,
thing I
too.
hear about people, and it's from my own experience as well, is that people are friendlier over here. I mean, you could just like talk
I
to
think it's
people
just because more
randomly.
people know each other.
Yeah.
Like small towns in Ohio, everybody knows each other, so it's like where my grandparents live, it's not really like a small town. It's more like just like because they live on a cul-de-sac, so it's like everybody knows each other on the cul-de-sac. Everybody's nice to each other, so it's like
Would you consider that to be an advantage?
yeah. I mean, you get to know your neighbors, and as long as your neighbors are nice, you can always ask them like can I borrow your lawnmower? Mine is broken, stuff like that. You got an extra hammer or power drill laying around. It's like you can ask people for favors. They get favors back.
It's a sense of community.
Yeah, it's a sense of community, and it's not that you don't get that in New York. It's just with a smaller community, it's a lot easier to have that sense of community.
I think New York is also a lot more transient as well. You get people who are here for a few years and then they're gone.
Yeah,
So
with
why
small
bother?
town, it's kind of a commitment. You kind of you got to stay there
Yeah.
for however long.
Small towns, you go back 20 years later, it's the same people living there.
Yeah. Yeah, New York, it changes every once. Like my neighbors, they only lived upstairs for like 5 months and they moved out. Now we got new neighbors, so it's like, what was the point of that?
Right.
You're only there for like 5
People like that aren't necessarily going to try to build
Yeah.
a relationship with their
Exactly.
neighbors. All right, now let me ask you this. Where were you coming from before you came here to this park?
To the park? I was
came
coming from school.
Or where are you going once you leave here?
Say it again.
Where are you going once you leave here?
Oh, I'm gonna go home, watch Netflix, make some food.
What are you making? Anything good? Mac and cheese?
No, I gotta see what's in the fridge, but probably like a sandwich. I could go for a sandwich. Like turkey and cheese. Sounds like a good. Not really like dinner, but kind of like a pre-dinner before I get started with actually like making something good.
All right, now final question. If you could redo a part of your life, what would it be? Actually, I forgot to ask you a bunch of questions that I always ask people. Is Facebook still relevant?
I don't use Facebook. I have it because I had to like use Facebook to get answers for this game I play on my phone. But I don't use my Facebook to post or anything like that. I just follow my grandpa, my aunt. I don't know if it's really relevant, to be honest.
So it's not a social network.
I think people use Instagram. Like Instagram's just easier to use.
All right, now can you do a New York accent?
Like what do you mean, like a Brooklyn, New York
Like
accent?
a New York accent. Forget
New
about it.
York.
What's going on? What's the
Hey,
matter?
forget about it. We going to the pizza place later, to John.
All right, now
It's good.
final question.
All right.
Do you have any sisters?
Yeah.
Who turned out better?
What? Like in terms of like
Let me ask you
parenting?
this, let me ask you this. Who got better grades in school?
Oh shit! I mean, she's like 3. I had a stepsister, and she was she had like fucking awful grades.
So you got better grades.
Yeah.
Who got in more fights?
Like with mom and dad.
No, in school.
Oh, at school?
Like fighting other students.
Neither of us. I mean, I've only gotten into like one physical fight with somebody else, so it was like
All right, who had better luck finding love?
probably me.
Who
If you call it luck.
Do you work?
No.
Have
not
you
yet.
ever had a job?
No, I got one lined up for the summer, but not
Is
yet.
she older or younger?
Younger. She's younger.
So I can't do the job comparison.
Nah, she doesn't have a job.
So, yeah, would you say, according to those criteria, men or women have it easier in this world?
In terms of dating, I think women have it easier because men are gonna lower their standards. For women, it's just like I don't know. I heard this like thing where it was like women date who they want, men date who they can, and I think that's definitely kind of because guys, they gotta be the ones to go up to girls. They gotta be the ones to like start a conversation, like what's poppin',
And deal with the rejection.
and deal with the rejection. I'm not saying girls don't get rejected. I feel like they probably get rejected a lot less often though, because you show a guy affection, and they're gonna, you're friendly to a guy, they're gonna be friendly back. It's not always the same way with girls. Kind of just personal experience there, but you know.
Yeah, that's been my experience too. A lot of times you like a woman and nothing.
Yeah.
Blankness.
Yeah, exactly, man.
They can't run fast enough.
Yeah.
All right, now do you want to plug into your social media?
Yeah, Optimus TJ Photography on Instagram. Optimus is in like Optimus Prime. TJ and then photography. It's like the first one to pop up. That's about it.
You want to give a shout out to anybody?
No.
Do I have your permission to put this on the internet?
Say it again?
Do I have your permission to put this on
Of course,
the internet?
yeah. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. You want to do a picture?